Welcome, everyone. Happy Tuesday. I'm the Grace Strega, and I'm here to give you your divine energy check in, masculine, feminine, and non binary energy update for today, Tuesday, November 18th, 2025. What do we have coming through in the cards for today? Can I please have? We're going to get started first with masculine energy. First, highest priority messages, please. We are going to be using the Game of Thrones deck. That is an interpretation of the Smith-Waite system to read into the masculine energy right now. Can I please have 3 cards for the headspace of the masculine? 2 more, please. Thank you so much. 1 card is hidden. Can I please get 3 cards right now for feminine energy? We're going to be using, again, the Circe Tarot deck for feminine energy. Again, bearing in mind, this is not based on gender, but what one feels most aligned to. For feminine energy, I've already got 2 out. They're very slippery today. And can I please get 1 more? Thank you. And can I please get 3 cards right now? Perfect. For non-binary energy, headspace, please. We'll be using the Aquarian Tarot deck, which is, again, an interpretation of the Smith-Waite system. What do we have coming through in the cards for today? Let's start with masculine energy. First 3 cards we are starting right now in the headspace of the masculine is, oh my goodness, we've got the 2 of coins, 2 of pentacles in its reversal, Ace of Wands in its reversal, in combination with the 7 of pentacles in its reversal. This is a continuation of what we were seeing that was coming through 2 days ago when we did this energetic read. There's something to be said right now, and I keep on seeing that it feels a lot like a lot of the masculine energy right now, and I was reading into this last time, is working through, it's interesting because I'm almost picking up the fact that there's energetic volatility within the energy of masculine. And a lot of it has to do with energetic progress. And I feel like the reason I keep on hearing that there's something really fundamental in relationality to the headspace of the masculine and progress right now is the weight or the shape by which, and I keep on getting this, like I feel like, and this is what I keep on seeing with this Ace of Wands in its reversal right now. I see the fact that there's masculine energy that is working on healing. And I keep on feeling like the hard part about that masculine energy is like whenever the masculine energy feels that there's something that occurs that damages the impact or the perception of masculine to feminine. I keep on seeing that it's almost like the energy of the masculine that almost builds frustration towards their own energetic field point, because I kind of see the fact that it almost feels like the masculine energy working or acting in the space of spearhead, trying to articulate and define like what the shape of change is. And that's why I keep on hearing that like the difficulty point is almost feeling the association with other energy that feels like it rends the progress of the energy itself, is what I keep on hearing. It's almost like it's wild because I was reading on this yesterday, like the day before when we were doing a lot of these energy updates. Like everything, the funny part about it was like all of the cards that I pulled in terms of feminine energy around masculine were in their upright, right? Like it's almost like that there's a bunch of energy of masculine that is working through the fact that, and it's, I keep wondering, it's not the feminine energy is perfect, but that a lot of the work, I feel like a lot of the work that masculine is doing in the journey of healing is being able to come towards feminine in a way that feminine does not fear masculine. And I keep on seeing that the space by which masculine has to navigate the reason, like I feel like this is masculine building into the heart of empathy towards feminine and understanding the energetic reason why feminine feels that way. Like I keep on seeing that for a lot of the energy right now, the word that's coming through is disambiguate, which is that I keep on seeing like the space by which another person says, like, you have a right to be upset. Like that modality or that experience is one that I feel like it's the space by which another person navigates. It's like navigating a mutual sense of shared collective frustration around circumstances or situations. Now, and I keep on seeing what's beautiful about that. And remember how I was saying that there's something about masculine energy I keep on hearing reaffirming what truly chivalrous energy means, because I keep on seeing chivalrous energy does not create heraldry. It's about the space of allowing context by which another person leads something. So I feel like there's a lot of the work of the masculine kind of doing that, working in that space right now. And I just keep on seeing the energy is doing something in such a way that it almost feels like, how do I describe this best? It's like they can't find the words to describe how they're feeling. So they're almost looking towards feminine for those words. Now, getting into the headspace of the feminine, there we've got the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles in its upright, the Eight of Swords in its upright, and the Ten of Swords in its upright. So it's almost like the feminine being like, "Oh, I got some words for you." It's like, and I think that there's something. I think that there's something that's happening right now in relationality to feminine energy, and I keep on hearing the word that is healing in the context of feminine is the word alarming. Is what I keep on seeing. And it's interesting that the word that's coming through for masculine right now is disambiguating, right? Like the ability by which, and I feel like here, keep on hearing disambiguating in the space by which one is hoping to like separate from something that one feels energetically uncomfortable with. You know what I mean? Like I keep on seeing like there's a lot of that. So there's a lot of that disambiguation that's happening for masculine, while feminine, I keep on seeing, like, I feel like there's something that is very energetically stabilizing for feminine in relation. I keep on hearing the stabilizing point is the fact that they are not alarming, is what I keep on seeing. That I keep on seeing, and I keep on getting the same message in relationality to feminine, articulating and saying, when another person sees us energetically upset about something, and then what we're upset about feels like it's validated. So I feel like there's a lot of the feminine energy that is feeling the validation point as it relates to their own experiences. And this is the only thing I'm seeing for a lot of feminine energy that feels like it's somewhat triggering, but also like they're healing through the trigger. Is the feminine energy effectively like going through that process or going through that work of like, it's like, I don't want to say, like, I don't want to say that there's something there that the feminine, I don't want to say, the feminine here isn't saying, I told you so. But the feminine energy is almost experiencing, like, I feel like this is, like, I feel like there's something about the feminine energy. And I like this because this is what I mean about like there being a bit of this bridge energy that's happening right now between masculine and feminine, being like, do you understand? Like, and I feel like it's like, and it makes sense, right? Because like Pluto and Venus, both being, in not in retrograde, along with Mars not being in retrograde right now, is like mutual. Like, again, I need to point this out. Masculine and feminine are effectively doing the work in sharing mutual disgust and outrage about something, is what I keep on seeing. And I keep on feeling like that in a certain extent is what is happening here, that is almost allowing for the context of like solid ground between them, like between the energy. Now, moving towards non-binary energy right now, we've got the Two of Cups in its reversal with, and this is really important, we've got the Ten of Swords that is also there. So this is falling very much into alignment with feminine energy because we're seeing similar cards here, as well as the King of Cups in its reversal. Now, this is really interesting because we almost see like the unified conversation that's happening right now between the frequencies in relationality to, and I keep on hearing, It's a conversation on doing one's shadow work effectively, which is the space by which I keep on hearing, the space by which we energetically embrace our weird is what I keep on seeing. And what's beautiful about that is, and I feel like there's something important that's happening in relationality to that conversation, because I see even now that for a lot of those who are working in the space of like I keep on hearing like facilitating or acting in those modalities of conversation. And remember too that when we were reading for this, there was like a conversation that was springing up in relationality to the dimensionality of love, to the dimensionality of conversations. I just keep on hearing the same message coming through in that frequency that articulates, it says, when we understand the dimensionality of ourselves, I keep on hearing, when we understand the dimensionality of ourselves, we embrace our uniqueness, and we remove all creepiness, is what I keep on hearing. That's what I effectively keep, like, that's exactly how it's coming through in the space, because it's the energy that articulates and says that when we embrace the dimensionality of ourselves, there's no room for creepiness, because there's nothing. I keep on hearing that, and this is what we're having or coming through about the ability to understand the self completely. Like when we do the work to understand ourselves, like I keep on hearing, it becomes more strange, but it becomes more energetically beautiful, because there's nothing energetically creepy there. And I feel like that's what's interesting, because I'm seeing like that is a lot of the work that we're currently going through right now with this retrograde process. It's like the difference between weird and creepy. And I keep on getting, there's nothing wrong. Like there's nothing wrong with weird as long as weird isn't creepy, because creepy is usually the disambiguation point in being weird but not owning it. Is like, whose weird is this? I don't know. Like it's like that's what we're seeing that's effectively going through right now in like the headspace of all the frequencies. Now let's move into the heart space of the energy right now. Can we please get 3 cards for masculine energy? Bearing in mind, this is not based on gender, but what one feels most aligned to. We've got the 9 of Spears in its reversal. This is really interesting because we're getting a lot of similarity here in the sign work. We've got the King of Swords in its upright, and we've also got the 9 of Swords so the 9 of Wands in its reversal, the King of Swords in its upright, the 9 of Swords in its upright as well. The heart space right now, I feel like the heart space right now for masculine energy, there's a lot of sentimentality that's coming forth here. There's a lot of sentimentality that I'm identifying that's coming forth. And the reason we're seeing a lot of that emotionality or a lot of that sentimentality, as it were, is due to the fact, I just keep on seeing that for a lot of the energy, like working through that modality or working through that experience, the ability to, and I keep on getting this now, like the ability to kind of work through, and look at this, I got to tell you, and it's interesting too, because when we're talking about the relationship cycles right now, and it's really interesting because I'm already starting to pick this up. The headspace of all of the energy is in the moon lessons, that we see that the energy right now that is navigating through and coming into, like starting to build into like healing in solitude, is working through. But the energy right now in the heart space is very much built upon temperance energy, which is a lot of the energy, like I just keep on hearing, they're working really hard to let go of, I keep on hearing, they're doing their best not to attack the energetic past, but doing something in relationality to trying to build forward into a better energetic tomorrow, is what I keep on seeing. And it's interesting because I keep on seeing that for a lot of the energy doing that work, the word that I keep on hearing is like, and it's interesting because I keep on hearing disambiguate, but also don't go there, because the disambiguation and the not going there around something that we're effectively seeing is a lot of the energy. And I feel like, and like this is interesting because every time I read right now for masculine energy, it doesn't even feel like, I keep on hearing the conversation doesn't even feel like it's directed to feminine. It feels like a conversation with itself, is what I keep on, like the energy is deep in hermit mode, because often when you see, when I start reading and I've got a conversation with the self, I'm like, this is the energy deep in hermit mode, because it's the difference I keep on seeing, and I just keep on hearing the same message coming through over and over and over again in the heart of the masculine energy, which is, again, a manifestation goal is one that is mutually shared by the self and those around the self. A manifestation goal is one that's mutually shared by the self and the energy around the self. A manifestation goal that is healthy is equally shared around the self and by all around, like by everyone, like around the self. And that's what I keep on getting, the continuation point in relationality to the difference between creepy and weird, because I keep on seeing the space by which one is able to articulate upon. And this is why we do the work to heal our emotional selves, because I keep on seeing that when we are in the space by which we navigate our emotions, and we're able to articulate or speak upon those emotions with a sense of energetic liberty, I keep on seeing that that's the ability that allows for the landscape by which anything can occur, and the possible can happen, and the possible can be energetically beautiful. But it's often weird, right? It's often awful when we're building into manifestation goals that feel like, what does it feel like when you're navigating someone who has a manifestation goal that's not mutually shared? It feels energetically calculating, right? And so that's what I keep on getting. And I feel like there's something about building into, like there's something about a lot of the energy of the masculine that's working through this space of building into a point of appreciation. And I keep on seeing, and this is why I keep on hearing that this is why the energy right now in the heart space is saying that they're doing the work so others don't have to, because it's the energy that effectively articulates and says, doing the best to be able to speak upon what that ideal is, right? Being able to articulate and amplify and share the dream with others. I keep on seeing that that is the energy that feels that mutual modality of sharing that is energetically celebrated, right? And I keep on seeing, and what's hard about it is I keep on seeing, and we were reading kind of into this, a little bit of this glacier effect that's happening with some of the energy doing this work, which means like, you know, like articulating upon something, speaking in modality of what it is that they aspire in partnership, and then, right, being able to find the composure, like to I keep on hearing to hold, I keep on hearing to hold the opportunity, I keep on hearing to hold the energetic opportunity towards counterpart energy that effectively says like, and I keep on seeing like, and I almost feel like the energy almost saying to another, you know, if I've gone too far, feel free to correct me. You know what I mean? Like there's this modality, there's something really, like I keep on hearing, there's something very gentle in the heart space of the masculine, because I keep on seeing the space by which they're working through that is the energy that says like, I'm trying to dare, like I'm trying to dare to be more myself. But I also want to know, I want to amplify the fact that I'm daring, but I'm also caring in the space by which I'm trying to dare, is what I keep on hearing. It's like, I keep on hearing daring to care, right? But I keep on hearing daring, but also like caring to dare is what I keep on hearing as well. Now, for the feminine in the heart space, can I please get 3 cards? Highest priority messages, please. 2, 3. Ba-ba-bum. And again, bearing in mind, this is not based on gender, but what one feels most aligned to. I gotta pick these up. It's fine. All the non-binary cards hit the ground, but it's all right. We're gonna talk about this in a moment. We've got here the Hangman in its upright, the Justice card in its upright, and the 4 of Cups. Now, I have to stress this right now because, you know, the thing I keep on seeing for the thing I keep on seeing right now for feminine energy is, and I keep on, I got to stress this, and it's interesting too, because there's something really important and significant that we see that's happening right now for feminine energy in the modality and in the experience of navigating upon the space of, I keep on hearing, the fortified emotions that are met with energetic, like energetic belief is what I keep on seeing. And I keep on getting, this is the same message that I kept on reading for feminine energy. And I feel like this is really hard because I feel like in a way, feminine keeps on moving into the modality of education. And I keep on hearing, it is the difference. I keep on hearing, it is the difference. I keep hearing the difference between performative and authentic is the space by which we feel, I keep hearing the space by which we feel energetically like mortified even as we move forward into something is what I keep on seeing. And I feel like this is really important right now because I feel like there's something really significant that's happening right now for feminine energy as it relates to others, like feeling the weight of others' perceptions upon them. And I feel like there's something really significant upon that almost like it's interesting because it creates, I keep on saying, for a lot of the feminine energy, it's working through and I feel like this is what's happening with a lot of this retrograde. It's understanding, like I just keep on getting the same messages coming through in the heart space with the feminine. And I know it's taking me a while to get it out, but this is why it's taking me a while to get it out. But it's like when someone has the wrong conception of you, do you ever notice nothing you can do is the right thing to do? Right? Like when someone has decided that they want to perceive you incorrectly, you could literally walk on water and they would yell at you for getting the floor wet, is what I keep on seeing. Like, this is the energy. Like, this is the kind of stuff that I keep on seeing right now that's happening with feminine energy. That is the type of like, this is what I mean. Like, there's like an eye roll that I keep on getting right now for feminine energy because it works through the power. It's like working through the power of another person's projections. And it's like, it's one of those things like, and this is literally how you can usually identify and articulate the shape by which another person is projecting something onto you, which is like anything you do fits the energetic narrative of what they achieve on the other side of it. Right? Like it's like, this is the frustration that often the feminine needs to operate in, which is there's no escaping another person's projections. Because when somebody is so in their own ego, in relationality to what they energetically want to perceive in you, then it doesn't matter if you do something, like I keep on getting, if you do something that is even antithetical to that belief, then they'll articulate and say, oh, you see, that's performative, right? Like, you see how convenient it is. It's a lot of that modality by which we see that the feminine, like, often like gets so frustrated because it's the shape by which navigating other people's projections is like, it's impossible. Okay. It's impossible. And I'm just here to tell you, if you're navigating that, that's usually the modality by which you just move away from it. Is what I keep just let your feet do the healing. Like, let your feet do the healing. And I feel like in a way, this is what some of the energy of the feminine is working through. And I keep on seeing, and I feel like it's I think it's interesting. Because I almost feel like some of I feel like the feminine energy is kind of, is like working into that, like almost like I keep on hearing through via their own energetic history. I keep on seeing it's almost serving as like a point. I keep on seeing, like, I feel like, again, this is what I meant about masculine and feminine kind of working through something and being like it's the amplification of being able to understand one another in relationality to like we're like I'm hearing like in relationality to the context or the frustration that we often have for the self. So I feel like what's interesting about that is like I feel like there's a lot of that conversation there. But I keep on seeing like I keep on hearing like this is a sound of the feminine doing the best they can, right? And then I keep on hearing the sound of the feminine doing the best they can. And then I keep on seeing if they're navigating another person's projections, even in the space by which it feels like they're doing something energetically remarkable. Like I keep on hearing like they're allowing the context by which I keep on hearing I keep hearing they're observing it instead of, I keep on hearing they're observing it instead of, I keep on hearing instead of, disassembling upon it is what I keep on seeing. And it's funny because I keep on seeing masculine is in the modality of disassembling right now in a positive way. Feminine is working through the energy of assembling, right? And I keep wondering, assembling the heart space or working into the space of feeling energetically whole within that modality. Now let's get back to the non-binary energy. Hold on, I gotta pick up all these cards. But I think that there's something very important about the fact that we saw a lot of those, like we heard that, like, I feel like we heard that, like, bump, like we had that modality by which, and I think it's I think it's interesting because, and I was reading for this on the energy, like on this energy, like yesterday, because I almost feel that like the energy, like it's funny too, because I think to a certain extent from the heart space of the energy in this modality right now. We've got the Fool card in its reversal. The three of Pentacles in its reversal, and also the 10 of Pentacles in its upright. And I feel like there's something in relation, and this was coming through yesterday or 2 days ago when we were doing the same reading, in relationality to navigating. And I just keep, it's so interesting because every time I go to read for the non-binary energy, I just keep on hearing the same thing, which is like when we're so busy building into energetic separation, we never have a conversation on dimensionality, is what I keep on hearing. I keep on hearing when there are sides to things, we never have a dimensional conversation. It becomes, I keep on hearing like there's like a little bit, I think it's interesting because like for the energy, like there's a little bit of this like yawn approach that often happens in the space. I keep on hearing like in the space of feeling, I keep on hearing feeling the need to have to introduce someone to the concept of the self is what I keep on seeing. There's like, it's almost like the energy that's moving into the modality or the perception of trying to amplify or articulate upon, I keep on seeing, upon energetic concepts is what I keep on seeing. And I keep on hearing it's like the mentality or the modality of like navigating through the limitation point upon, I keep on hearing like the limitation point upon how we feel, like the frustration that we often feel to energetically conform into things instead of being able to articulate or amplify the beauty of everything is what I keep on getting. And I think it's really interesting because there's something that I see that's happening right now in the heart space that almost says, like, I feel like, how do I describe this? It's like the energy itself feels much more comfortable in the space of being able to describe something like within their own experience that feels like it energetically eludes them, is what I keep on seeing. And I feel like that's, and I keep on hearing, like, that's why I feel like there's, for a lot of the energy in this modality, there's something very, 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 like, I keep on hearing they hold themselves somewhat apart, because I keep on seeing the reason that the energy holds themselves apart is because they're effectively articulating and saying, I don't want to be the testing ground for another person's confused feelings, is what I keep on seeing. right? I literally hear the energy saying, like, I am not a testing ground. I am not a place for you to introduce yourself to see how something energetically feels. It's like I keep on hearing like a lot of this energy is almost articulating to counterpart, come whole or do not come at all. Like know yourself or don't know yourself. I am not here to help you introduce yourself to yourself, is what I keep on seeing. And so there's a little bit of that energy there. And it's interesting because I almost see the energy that kind of has boxing gloves on in situations, right? I feel like in a way, there's a little bit of this energy that feels that vibration by which, and I need to point this out, like by which they're pushing others away. But I keep on seeing like the space by which the space by which they're pushing others away right now in the heart space is, it feels like, I keep wondering, it feels energetically protective, because I keep on seeing the energy almost saying like, and I saw this the other day, like almost facilitating and saying that they don't like it. It's like the energy that articulates or gets exhausted by, I keep on hearing these are energies right now that are healing from another person. Like I keep on, and I feel like especially because I was saying that there was a lot of energy feeling like they were pedestalized, like working into the concept of another person saying, I want you to recognize that I have feelings too, right? And I keep on hearing like the space by which they're articulating that their feelings are not a curiosity. There's something to be, I keep hearing there's something to be held with, I keep wondering there's something to be held with energetic reverence, but I keep on getting in the same modality or the same experience that I feel like there's a little bit of this exhaustion that they often have in relationality to seeing them. Like I keep on hearing in relationality to seeing them as, I keep on hearing like seeing them as something that is energetically like curious instead of something that another person commits themselves to entirely. Now the final, the bottom, like getting into the lower third here of our readings. So moving deeper into the unconscious space right now. Masculine energy. Can I get 3 cards, please? 3 cards. Bearing in mind this is not based on gender, but what one feels most aligned to. We've got the 8 of Cups in its upright, the 7 of Swords in its upright, and the 8 of Coins. Man. The thing I got to say right now with a lot of, I keep on hearing, the thing I keep on seeing with a lot of the masculine energy right now is, and I feel like the thing I keep on identifying here, it's all the temperance energy. It is all the temperance energy that I was seeing that was coming up in the relationship readings, which is a lot of the energy. I keep on hearing a lot of the energy that is working towards channeling frustration into the present. But and this is the thing with these retrograde cycles. These retrograde cycles bring up a lot of raw, like a lot of raw emotions, right? And I'll just tell you right now, you will never discover like someone having raw nerve than when you're going through a retrograde cycle like this, especially when someone is like deep energetically within their ego. And I need to work through this because I need to like take a moment right now to unpack something in relationality to ego. Because, and I feel like this, and the reason I'm going to unpack it is because I feel like I see masculine energy trying to unpack this, potentially even to other masculine energy, which is like the understanding. And it's interesting too, because it feels very Cancerian. Because every time I like read into, whenever this message comes up, it's usually because we're working through Cancer season. It makes sense. Jupiter is retrograding right now in Cancer. So it makes a lot of sense that's what the conversation is. There is a healthy ego, and then there's too much ego, right? Okay. Ego is good. Ego is the defense mechanism of the soul. Okay. Ego is the defense mechanism of the soul. You need an ego. That's good. You got one. It protects you from stuff. But the way you can usually tell if your ego is in alignment to your higher self is that they fit harmoniously together. There's not too much room in between. It is like a comfortable suit. It is a custom suit that you are wearing. It fits you in all the right ways. And this is why sometimes when we expand, we have to take our egos out a little bit. We got to let it out a few inches. We need to we need to suture some stuff up. This is all we constantly check it because it's the understanding of the recognition that as we change, so too do our energetic egos to navigate the situations that we find ourselves in. A healthy ego is one that is adaptable, but not too much so, right? We change, but only as we grow, right? And the ability to kind of navigate that is sometimes painful. But even in the space by which we do it, it's beautiful. And so I feel like there's a lot of the work that we see, and I keep on seeing, I feel like I would not be surprised right now if there's masculine energy very much invested in having conversation with other masculine energy. Because the truth is, I'm reading into these cards right now, and I don't even see, last time I read, there was a lot of feminine energy in the masculine space. I don't see any. There's no feminine energy right now in the masculine energy. And I feel like that's a lot of the masculine energy working through the difference between what feels like a healthy ego versus what feels like an unhealthy one. And the way you can usually articulate and identify this is, again, the ability to navigate or articulate the fact that one observes that one has one. Right? Never are you in more danger. Never are you in more danger than when another person says they don't have an ego. What are you talking about? Okay. Look, I got rid of it. No, you didn't. You shed one. There's another one underneath it, silly. It's it's always there. You can't get rid of it. It's just, but often, and I keep on seeing often energy that gets really, really excited. When someone gets really, really obsessed about the fact that they've shed an ego, that then is the ego. It's working through that to a certain extent. And so I feel like this is a lot of the energy that is potentially looking it's almost like the energy that's looking towards other energy that tries to articulate upon the fact, and I almost feel like it's interesting too, because it's the space I keep on hearing the space by which we say that we move towards something just because another told us to. That's also our ego, is what I keep on seeing. I keep on getting that there's something really significant in the space of energy. And I think that this is really beautiful because I feel like there's a lot of the energy of masculine looking towards masculine and basically saying that when we don't look towards what we know to be right outside of the self. We look for it within. We understand and we recognize that. And I feel like it's hard because I almost feel like there's a conversation happening right now, or a lot of investiture of masculine energy talking about the toxicity of performative masculinity, right? Because I keep on hearing, when we feel like we have to perform the act of masculine, what they're basically articulating is the fact that they don't feel like they are. That when we feel the security or stability within ourselves, how can you be something you are the embodiment of it, right? So it's not feeling, I keep on hearing, masculinity isn't about beating the bar. It's about raising the bar. It's not about beating the bar. It's about raising the bar, because when we embrace it, when we come into the modality of embracing it, we usually love who we are. And so I feel like there's something about that where there's it's almost like the space by which I keep on hearing, it's the healed masculine energy. Really, I almost feel really trying to reach out to the unhealed masculine energy and say, right? When you're pushing against something constantly, that is the modality by which you're addressing the world. Like when you're pushing, when you're feeling like you need to beat the bar to prove to everyone you're masculine, that's the roar that you hear that doesn't allow anyone in to love you because you're so obsessed with trying to prove to everyone you are something that there's no ability for anyone to be able to energetically communicate, right? And I keep on seeing like there's something really beautiful about that. And I feel like that's the communication point that I see that's happening right now. Now, for feminine energy, we've got, and I think that this is important because this is the type of conversation that I feel is fortifying these relationships right now. For feminine energy right now, unconscious space, 3 cards to clarify, please. We've got the 3 of Pentacles in its upright. We've got the Queen of Wands in its reversal. Yeah, and this is the 9 of Wands in its upright, right? The sound of not being able to do anything right is often not indicative on the fact that you're doing anything wrong at all. It has a lot to do with the fact that you're in the wrong place. Because that is the force of projection, right? I just keep on seeing this. The space by which, when feminine energy comes into the space of understanding that it's very convenient when you can't do anything right. Because when you feel like you can't do anything right and you just bring more energy to it, like free labor is what I keep on getting, right? Like that is literally the modality by which I keep on seeing like the space by which another person makes you feel energetically frustrated. I keep on seeing a lot of feminine energy I keep on hearing a lot of feminine energy is just no longer disassembling in the modality by which another person is constantly picking on them. Because I keep on hearing being picked upon is literally the sound of another person's projections. Right? I keep on, and I feel like there's like, I feel like a lot of the energy is just articulating for what it is when they see it now, you know? And I keep on getting, it's interesting too, because that message that I said, and I feel like it's interesting too, because like, I feel like there's something to be said in relationality to energy healing from modalities of I keep hearing modalities of toxic positivity. And how do you often recognize something that feels like it's, like energetically toxic and positive? When we articulate, I keep on hearing our patience is a gift to someone that recognizes and appreciates that they are receiving it. And often those that are deep within their egos will try to articulate the fact that they're being patient to someone instead of embracing who they are, and then will try to claim the fact that they're being a good person. There's nothing good or like about putting patience towards things and then telling another person you are and being like, does that person know that you're patient? Because if you're being patient, right? If you're being patient upon something that another person has no desire to change, that is toxic, right? Like that is the modality. And I keep on hearing this is what's going on in the undercurrents of the feminine. Patience is a gift. And when it's in a good thing, and the patience that we give to each other is beautiful, so long as another person knows they're consenting to receiving it. Because when we try, and this is a difference between having hope to situations, right? We can have hope that things change, but we don't allow, and they're very much in the moon energy right now with these moon relationships, they're not allowing reality to cloud their perception of things. So the way that we navigate in a healthy way is we have hope upon how we change, and then we give patience to the energy that we recognize understands the gift of that patience. We articulate upon our plans. We talk about what we're energetically working upon. We build into the space by which we appreciate when others hold space for us, and we also amplify and articulate the fact that we have room to grow. So I feel like there's something really beautiful about that, because I do feel like a lot of energy of feminine healing from some deep trauma by which it felt like they were constantly working through another's disappointment. But I keep on seeing, if you're working into a space by which another person is almost articulating the fact that they're always disappointed in you, that's usually not the circumstance by which you can fix it, by which the circumstance where another person is often in the space by which they're not energetically appreciating something. So I feel like there's something really beautiful about that, because I keep on seeing that this is the energy of the feminine that's coming to heal by saying, I like me just the way I am. Because when the energy of the feminine says, I like me just the way I am, they stop doing the energetic heavy lifting for everyone around them, potentially from the articulation or the amplification of another person just saying, you're letting me down. And being like, if another person articulates that they're letting you down, the logical next question is, what were you expecting? While for the energy deep within, like the energy right now, the non-binary energy going through the unconscious space here, 3 cards. Woo, we've got 6 of Cups in its reversal. We've got the King of Swords, and we've got the Moon card in its reversal. Now, I think that this is really interesting, because what we're basically having and seeing right now is a culmination of a lot of the work that we see that's happening across all of the relationship cycles that's effectively being energetically, I keep wondering, it's like a lot of the energy right now is being energetically compressed for a lot of the energy in this modality. Because what I keep on seeing in this modality is, I feel like there's something about this energy being a little ahead of the curve in relationality to shedding the energetic fear as it relates to another's disappointment, right? I keep on seeing, like, I keep on hearing, if you allow, I keep on hearing disappointment is energetically subjective. And this is why it's so important that we know ourselves, right? Because when we know ourselves, we know, like, we don't worry so much about disappointing others. We worry about disappointing ourselves, is what I keep on hearing. And I keep on hearing there's nothing, as long as we're in, and I keep on hearing there's nothing selfish. There's nothing selfish in the desire not to disappoint the self, so long as one is in the space of also being profoundly empathic, right? Like, often I keep on seeing, like, the disambiguation point that often occurs between the misconception of someone being within, like, there's something really broken. There's something profoundly broken in an energetic society that immediately assumes that becoming invested in yourself will make you not care about the energy around the self. Like, take a moment to fully absorb that. What is wrong with an energetic society that believes that the identification point of being fully invested in the self, but then caring about the energy around the self cannot be energetically unified? That's what I keep on seeing that's happening right now. It's almost like the valuation point of the energy, like introducing, I keep wondering, the energy itself is introducing the concept. I feel like it's like the energy is like rolling out the concept to those around them, that often amplifies and says, you can do both. You can walk and chew gum. You can love yourself. And check this out. Crazy idea. Here's a wild idea I would like to put before you. You can care about the self. You can absolutely love the self. And then that love is a joy you share with everyone around you, right? Like, when you love the self, it doesn't need to require you to become selfish. Imagine the place where you love yourself and the cup of the self spilleth over to everyone around the self, right? It doesn't require, and the difference, right? The key difference in the understanding of that is the difference between being, I keep on hearing, self-absorbed, right? And self-love are very different, right? Because self-absorbed is the space by which you only see things through the optics of a single perspective, right? It's like the only binary of perspective by which you view the world. But when you're in the modality by which you understand multi-dimensions, right? But when you're building into the concept of the self as a multi-dimensional self, it's not that far to recognize that all of the energy around the self is the self as well. So it's not something that creates the selfishness. It's something that feels like it amplifies. It feels like it energetically shares. It's the amplification point that allows the context by which we can grow and evolve to a different space. And I feel like for a lot of the energy right now, that's what's so difficult, because I keep on seeing that for the space by which this energy is trying to build into relationship, often others not seeing them. Like I keep on hearing, like I almost see the energy saying, I want you to perceive me multidimensionally, not as an energetic parlor trick, is what I keep on seeing. Not, I keep on hearing like the energy almost articulating and saying like, don't look towards this space. Like I keep on hearing, like, I almost feel like this energy, like when energy tries to come towards them and being like, you're so unique, they go, like, you know what I mean? Like, ugh, like they pull away. Because I'm being like, no, that is not. I keep on hearing like the energy saying like they're not looking. I keep on hearing they're not looking for relationship by which another person feels like they add spite, like they add something like unique. I see the energy almost in the space of looking, like I feel like there's something about that where they're kind of looking. I feel like they're looking for others that are simultaneously as invested in understanding the self. You know what I keep on seeing? They're almost looking for the relationship that is built upon the mutual investiture of personal understanding to allow for deeper energetic progress, potentially in the realm of like I keep on hearing deeply intellectually invested relationship is what I keep on hearing, right? That is where, let's do some bottom of the deck information here on all of these energies. Masculine energy right now. Can I please draw? We've got here the Queen. Oh, there's the feminine energy. We were looking everywhere. We were doing the masculine energy and we were looking where did the feminine energy go? Where is the feminine energy? We found the feminine energy. Bottom of the deck, right? This is the masculine energy that's working through understanding the right the feminine has to be upset about things, right? I just keep on seeing a lot of the masculine energy in this modality working through, like this is, I keep on seeing a lot of the masculine energy right now invested in, I keep on hearing invested in the feminine so much they're almost communicating with other masculine energy and being like, I don't know, I like, who hurt you? Like I feel like the energy going, who hurt you, that you feel, who hurt you, that made you feel that you want to build a relationship with feminine that requires feminine to just be there to heal you. Right? I keep on seeing, I feel like this is literally the masculine looking towards other masculine energy and saying, do you understand you have a childhood wound? Like I can see I see masculine energy holding other masculine energy hand and saying, I just need to walk you through this. If you're building into a relationship where you're looking for a feminine that's never going to be emotional to you, but is only there to heal you, you're not looking for a partner. You're looking for a mother. Like I see the energy of like looking towards masculine. And this is the masculine that's like literally doing that heavy investiture in terms of articulating upon that to other masculine energy. Like I see the energy saying, I'm going to hold your hand when I say this. I can see the energy. And I feel like what's beautiful about that is this is the masculine energy doing that investiture for the sake of of feminine energy. Like literally, this is masculine energy that is healed to such an extent that they're trying to build into the context of trying to give other masculine energy a modality of the perspective and saying, imagine being in that person's position is what I keep on hearing. Like, imagine what that must feel like is what I keep on seeing. And I feel like there's something about that or even in the context by which masculine, I keep on hearing the masculine that can imagine what that feels like. Congratulations, you've already moved into the space of empathy, right? They've healed their heart space because the sound we hear is I can imagine when you say, I can only imagine what that feels like. Great. Like that is the sound of someone building into the space of building into the, like coming towards being able to navigate their emotions, right? They're working on the perspective of understanding, trying to understand feminine by trying to build into empathy for feminine. Now for feminine energy, bottom of the deck right now, 10 of Cups in its upright. So for a lot of the feminine energy right now doing this work, I feel like it's hard because I feel like this is a lot of the feminine energy working through a very deep trust wound. A very, very deep trust wound, potentially in relationality towards masculine energy. And I keep on seeing that what's hard is like I see the energy of feminine that desires to move towards masculine. But the hard part is like I feel like this is the feminine energy saying like, if I could just trust you, I would be even more myself. Like this is the feminine that says I would be like your energetic dream, like everything would be amazing. Like the world would be an amazing place if we created in the space by which feminine could feel the ability to be in their authenticity. I keep on seeing without the space of energy constantly trying to covet them is what I keep on seeing, right? Because often, I keep on hearing, often the space by which feminine gets hurt is not a masculine energy articulating the fact that they want to hurt feminine, but masculine energy that hasn't healed enough that goes, why won't you let me protect you, right? That is literally the sound of abuse, right? The space by which another person says, why won't you let me protect you? Like that is the shape by which feminine is trying to navigate a world where they're trying to heal, not from the space of someone that tries to put a violation towards them, but someone that tries to mask their own emotional unhealthiness in the cloud of love. And I keep on hearing the true shape of love is not about what we covet. It's honoring each other's wishes. And so I keep on seeing that for a lot of the feminine energy, doing that work and building into relationship is the analysis and relationality to how another person navigates their wishes. Because I keep on seeing, and that's not, I keep on hearing, that's why when feminine's building upon whim, it's not just whim we're talking about. Because when feminine says, if you understand my whims, then you hold me to priority. Because this is feminine that says, I have a life, like they have a lifetime of history of energy that's harmed them by claiming that they love them and then hurting them even as they were insisting that they were trying to protect them. While for the energy that is non-binary, bottom of the deck on this is it's Temperance card in its reversal. It's frustrating is what I keep on seeing. I keep on hearing for a lot of the energy that's working in that space, not wanting to be in a relationship where they feel like they have to explain themselves, but being able to having another person that understands the concepts is what I keep on seeing. Like I just keep on hearing like the modality or experience of trying to work into a framework where another person, I keep on hearing they don't need to feel like they need to prepare a lecture in order to be able to enter a relationship is what I keep on seeing. So I feel like there's something important for a lot of that energy working into the space of, I keep on seeing like I keep on hearing like they're moving towards partnership with like, I keep on hearing like they're moving towards partnership with, like, I want to say, like, it's like a healthy sense of cynicism, which again, we're seeing a lot with like the moon energy, which is like they're hoping to be able to do something there, but they're not like they're hoping that something will change, but they're not allowing their hope to cloud their energetic judgment is what I keep on seeing, right? There's a lot of that. I just keep on getting, there's a lot of that energy that's like, I keep on hearing it takes a while. It's like the energy that's taking time to come to understand, but I keep on seeing this is why. I keep on hearing they're exhausted. They're energetically exhausted with being in a space by which another person, like I keep on hearing like another person is not in the modality by which, like, I keep on hearing like they're staying composed, but also building into an energetic vernacular with someone where it's almost like I keep on saying like not feeling the need of having to slow down, but looking for someone by which they can keep up with is what I keep on getting, right? It's like literally, I keep on hearing somebody say like, I don't want to have to slow down. Like, I don't want to have to slow down my energetic processing speed in relationality to being able to pick up what they're putting down is what I keep on hearing. Which is interesting given the fact that Mercury's in Sagittarius right now retrograding. That is our energy update for today. I want to thank you guys so much for being here to experience it. Just a reminder, if you would like to book a private reading with me, it is a 2-step process. You have to book the reading, you have to pay for the reading. Please make sure you do both if you'd like to have that reading. Most importantly, please remember that I will never, ever, 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 ever reach out to you for a private reading. I will never DM you. I will never PM you. I will never slide into your inbox and tell you that I have a very important message that only I can deliver. The only way you can book a reading with me is if you book one on my site, so I would encourage you to do it there. A couple of updates before we move into personal readings today. First and foremost, I would like to thank everyone who participated in our recent tarot class on the moon card. Our Our next class will be this Thursday at 6 p.m. PST, 9 p.m. Eastern. We will be continuing our journey into the tarot with a focus on the Sun card. If you would like to become a part of that tarot class program, all you need to do is head on over to my stack and become a paid subscriber. Your paid subscription to my stack is your ticket of entry into our live classes each and every month. You will also, as a paid subscriber, as a paid monthly subscriber, have access to over 9 hours worth of material in the Tarot Church Library class archive. Now, it's not necessary to catch up. I'll do my best to give you an update on everything we've studied thus far prior to beginning that class, but the material is there for you to receive as you're ready to receive it. You'll also have access to a one-on-one chat with me and the other students to ask any questions they may have in relation to anything we've learned and studied thus far. And if you become a founding member to my stack, not only will you receive a discount on the full year's worth of readings, you'll also have full access to the entirety of the Tarot Church Library class archive. That is access to over 20 hours worth of material in an ever-expanding library. You'll also have access to a complimentary one-on-one mentorship class with me, where I will meet with you personally to assess where you are on your own personal tarot journey and give you the best insights in terms of how to utilize those classes to the best impact moving towards your tarot goals going forward. One of the things I tried to do in these classes was make them accessible to the absolute novice tarot reader as well as the seasoned reader. There's definitely something there for everyone. Don't let your lack of experience or your robust experience prevent you from joining us in these classes. And even if you don't become a paid subscriber to my stack, I would encourage you to follow me there to stay up to date on any new offerings or services. I also post my Mystic Meditation articles there, which will give you an update on everything we've been seeing in article form. I release those bi-monthly based on the lunation cycles. I'll be releasing one shortly on this new moon we've got coming up in just a few days. You can find all of that over on the stack. Finally, I want to let you guys know that on top of my standard life path readings, I also offer mentorship classes. These are for any of my students seeking a more personalized educational experience with me. I take a very limited number of students for this reason, as those classes are focused on each individual's personal spiritual goals and journey work. Those classes can be purchased on an individual level or as a monthly class series, weekly or bi-weekly, as your schedule permits. Also, for my students that are seeking more consistent weekly tarot support, I'm happy to offer weekly tarot insight packages, which can be purchased on an individual basis again, or which can be purchased for readings at a discounted rate. And I'm also very happy to offer dream interpretation readings now, which you can purchase per dream or as a series. If you purchase the series, I would encourage you to start to keep a dream journal, as we will meet weekly or bi-weekly with that journal and utilize the tarot to understand the key themes and messages coming towards you in the dream space. I want to thank you guys so much for being here today and sharing in these messages, and we will do this again